Hi everyone, welcome to SDS Motorsport channel. My name is Harn and this is my year 2000 Proton Saga. I know it's not much of a looker, but it does do a good job as a car. Okay, so before we go to Genting and talk about the pros and cons of owning a Saga, we shall go through the specs of this beast. Let's go. So the Saga comes with a 1.3 litre carbureted inline-4 engine, or known as the 4G13. It produces 75 horsepower from the factory, but I'm sure over all these years of service, the horsepower has come down a little. Nonetheless, the top speed of this car, my current car, is 165 km an hour, but it is not advisable to go at that speed. In the front of the Saga, it is currently using a disc brake setup, where the back is using drum brakes. It comes with no power steering and no ABS. Currently, it is using 13-inch rims wrapped with some Michelin tires, which are 175, 60, 13s. As you can see, the car is fairly stock except for one thing, which is the exhaust. It is currently running an aftermarket exhaust that I got from a newer Saga. The interior of the car is rather simple given that it's 20 years old, but the seats are really comfy. Quite spacious in the rear seat, and a good amount of cargo space in the rear. Okay, good morning guys. So today we're going up Genting to see how well this car performs. Right now we are almost at the first guardhouse, and great. Sunlight in the eyes. Perfect for all situations. Okay, we're about to reach the first guardhouse. Okay, we just passed the first guardhouse, and to the first corner we go. A bit understeer over there. After second gear, third gear straight, no power. How nice. In my car I've got a few co-drivers. To be exact, will be 2 co-drivers, my friends. Hopefully this Subaru gives me way. Thank you. Ah, damn it. Okay, the car got no power compared to the Subaru. Okay, here we go. Maximum effort. Oh, sun in the eyes. Very nice. Okay, bikes passing. And straights, there is lack of power. It performs very differently comparing corners than the straights, because in corners you don't really feel the lack of power, but in the straights you feel it. Let's overtake a new reel. Here comes more bikes. Third gear, and we're still lacking of power. Okay, you see the power in the straights is very, very lackluster. Okay, the first roundabout. Understeered. 4 tires squealing. maximum effort. Okay, now it's performing slightly better, but temps are already going up because it's a 20-year-old car, so expected for the temps to go up. Okay, downhill corner, earlier braking, downshifting. Okay, foot to the floor. So far the car's doing not bad. Okay, downhill corner, we should brake earlier. Getting all tyres to work as hard as they can. Running 175s on this car, which is a bit too small to my liking. Another downhill corner. Okay, the car's a bit too tall, I can feel the wobble. Still all 4 tyres working at their max. Doing not bad so far, keeping up with these bikes. A 20-year-old car keeping up with bikes. Sharper corner. Four tires, all the way, man, all the way. With the bikes. Okay, another roundabout. Thank God for the traffic today is quite clear. Okay, come on. Definitely not the strong point of the Saga in straight lines. Neither in turnings. As you saw, all 4 tires were squealing. But, you know, it does manage to put a smile on my face. But it takes you a lot of effort trying to play with this car. There's a TT in the front. Braking very early. It's a TTSI. And we're here. The midpoint of Genting. Okay. I shall park aside and I'll give you my thoughts about the car in the next clip. Okay, so we've finally reached to the part where we talk about the pros and cons of this car. So the first biggest pro is the cost of this car. The cost of this car currently, I bought mine at 2,000 ringgit. Okay, you can get a better condition one at maybe 3,000, 4,000 ringgit, which is very much cheaper than a lot of cars nowadays. Even a Kancil. The Kancil is one of a Malaysian small car, costs about 5,000 ringgit. So I think it's quite value for money at this point. Where also recently I've read the statement where I find it quite true, which is a lot of kids nowadays, my kind of kids, teenagers, where we want fancy things. Let's say we were to go out and get a brand new Honda Civic, 130k, 140k. So it will put us actually in financial debt. Rather than getting ourselves in financial debt, we get a Saga like this, which is easily 2k compared to the 150k. We are able to enjoy our lives, not worrying about debt. So the second point of this is the maintenance. Why I chose the maintenance as a pro. It's also a con. but the main thing is a pro. This is because the spare parts of this car is really affordable. Like, for example, let's say a bumper. I can find a bumper online for 30 ringgit. 30 to 100 ringgit accordingly, where you find yours. So it's not only that. Most of the parts for this car is really cheap. For some reason, I really do not know why, but I really like it that it's cheap. So if I were to make a mistake, let's say I were to curb a sidewall, and I can just replace it. Third one, you are able to become a better driver. This car has no power steering, it has no ABS, so it is actually allowing you to learn how to drive better. Compared to cars nowadays where there's a lot of electronic assistance, where basically the car drives itself. So this one you can actually feel the road, which gear to put it in. Yeah, it's a manual also. So a lot of kids nowadays prefer an auto car where it's easy, but this actually allows you to become a better driver. For an example, like a rainy day, if I were to brake too hard, my tires will lock and I'll skid forward. A normal person, let's say if it's an emergency, a person wouldn't know what to do. But since I've gotten used to driving a car like this, once my tires are locked, I'll have the habit of tapping my brakes. So tapping my brakes will actually do my own ABS. So this is what we learn. We learn how to become a better driver, learn how to control the car. Yeah, so now we're gonna go to the cons of the car. So in my opinion, this car is actually not very fuel efficient. Let's say you were to go 100, you'll be around 3000 RPM, which is not to say very bad, but it's not very fuel efficient either. So if you were to take it to a highway drive, let's say you were to go to work, but you use the highway, so it's fine. As long as it's a highway drive, it's still fine. But in city drive, the petrol eats up a lot. So yeah, one full tank of this is around 70 ringgit, around there, back when I was before the MCO. Okay, the second con of the car is that it is old. So a lot of parts you must look into, the wear and tear parts, tires, bushings, suspensions, everything you must look into because it's old. We do not know whether the previous owner did a check on the car, whether this part is still functioning, that part is still functioning. Because actually this is my second Saga. The first Saga I had an issue with the distributor. So my distributor kept malfunctioning. I wasn't sure why, but I had to go through around 3 distributors. Yeah, each distributor was around 250 ringgit. So it actually cost me quite a lot lah. Now, you're gonna enjoy some cinematics of this car. Enjoy! Let's go.